Hello everyone. So in today's tutorial, we'll talk about a very important topic like indexing in EDS. So in EDS, like it provides a way to basically keep an index of all the published pages for your website, or if you want for any particular section, that is also possible. So, and there are multiple use cases of a indexing, like we can use it for search related use cases, like search block can be built using and that will basically use the indexes of all the published pages. Okay. And then the same indexes can be used to build the sitemap of your site, which can be used by like SEO or crawler, okay, for indexing your website. Okay. And there are some other use cases also, like you can build list feeds, then you can implement filtering related use cases, all those things. And basically in EDS, indexing can be set up in two ways. One is like you don't have to do any coding, or you don't have to uh, uh, make any changes in your code repository. You just need to basically create a sheet, which is mentioned here, uh, eh, like we need to create a spreadsheet or Excel workbook depending on what backend we have choose for. Like in our use case will be like I'm using Google Drive, so we will be creating a spreadsheet called query index. And then as you know, the spreadsheet basically can be will be translated to JSON, so this index definition will be available as JSON. As I mentioned, there are two ways. Like one is the way in both the cases anyway, we will be needing a spreadsheet. But if we want to have custom index definition, and when we need to have custom index definition, like what is the use case, I'll discuss in this session. Or I'll discuss both the use cases. So I'll start with the first first use case where we don't have to make any custom config related to indexing. So how we can set it up? So let's basically, as I mentioned, we just need to, depending on our backend, we need either need to create a workbook or a spreadsheet called query index in the root folder. And in that query index sheet, we just need to create a sheet raw-index. And then in this raw-index sheet, basically we need to add headers. So the first header will be this path. Okay, and in the following columns, we can add headers line for all the properties that we want to extract from our render HTML pages. Like in the following example, like they have added a title, image, description, last modified. And basically, as I mentioned, pages like maybe your pages are already published, okay? But when you have created this sheet, after that, whatever pages those you will publish, those will data from those pages will come in this particular sheet, and it may not reflect basically immediately. It may take some time, like sometime 1 or 2 minutes, or sometimes even more than that, or sometimes even less than that. So we need to wait for that period. And as I mentioned, when pages are published, so they will be indexed, and data you will be able to see data in this particular sheet. And to remove pages from index, they have to be unpublished. And suppose if there are any pages that you don't want to index, then you can add this custom metadata also. For example, this robot metadata in your maybe the page level metadata block, and that value of that metadata tag should be no index. And in that case, that page will not be indexed even if you publish it. But this is just only for the simple scenario. So we'll talk about like how it will be handled when you have like custom index definition also. So I'll talk about that later in the session, but for time being, like in the simple scenario, just remember if you don't want to index any page, just add a, robot metadata with no index definition. Okay, and there are few properties that are available out of box, you can say, and like they will be looked into the like in your page markup, and then basically they try to read it from the different meta tags which are available on your page, mostly out of box. So like there's author tag basically which return the content of make meta tag name author in the head. Similarly, title will return the data of OG title. Similarly, there are others like date, image, category, tags, description, robots. Okay, except this, so all these will be looked into the in your head section, and they'll try to read it from the meta tags. Except the last modified. Last modified, you can see it is basically it try to fetch it from the response header or for the document. And apart from these, like you can you can fetch any custom header also. Like you can add any custom header column in your index sheet. Okay, and what this will do, like index EDS, it will try to find the meta tag basically with the corresponding name. If that meta tag is available, then then there's no issue. Like it will be able to fetch it and then populate it inside the sheet. If that meta tag is not present, basically, then your column will be blank. Okay. And to once your sheet is ready, right, you can just like a normal practice in EDS, even if you need to preview the spreadsheet using the Sidekick extension. That will basically create a next configuration, and then we there's a admin service API endpoint is also available. Using that also we can check the index representation of any page. Okay. So let's see this in action. So as mentioned, we need to create a sheet, and name of the sheet is should be query query hyphen index, and our basically sheet name should be raw underscore index. Okay, and the first header should be basically telling should be, I think, but it must be path, and rest you can add other properties that you want to extract or you want to index. Okay, so maybe I'll add title, description, image, uh, and then maybe I can add, for example, uh, like we have some custom header also added when we discuss about the metadata, right? So for example, this page type or theme. So let me add theme also here. So because our theme metadata is present, it will basically fetch it. So let me add theme here, and I can add any other also which is not present in the page. It will, if the value is not present, the column will value will be blank. So just to show, maybe I'll add anything which is not present. Uh, maybe ABC. Okay. And then what we will do, we will preview it. Just Let's see with this. We'll preview this and we will publish it. Okay. Now what we'll do is mention like we need to publish the pages, right? So this is our index page. Okay, so let's publish this again. And what I'll do, maybe I'll publish few other pages also for example, about us. Okay, and I think we have home page as well. Okay, let's publish this as well. And we'll see. Okay, start coming. We can see this data, it's extracted, and we can see this in the sheet. And you can see last modified is added by default. Like we have not added that in the sheet, but even then it is like fetching it from the response header and then adding it here. So we have, I think, published this home also. It should be here anytime. For timing, let me so there's a different way to see it, index, like because of the site ID, you can see that in a tabular way. Okay, and if we close that, we can also see this in a JSON format. Like so, this is the index for our index page and about us page. There should be for home page as well. Okay, okay, it came now. And now let me show you that uh, uh, that particular use case where I talked about the robot equals to no index metadata. If we don't want to index any particular page, for example, let me see if there is any. Okay, there is the sample page. Okay, yeah, what I'll do, I think in the home page we have this custom metadata block. Okay, so let me copy that and add it here. Let's remove all other data, delete. Okay, I need to delete the rows, delete 5 rows, and then maybe I can add robot equals to no index. And let's publish this. Sh- like we can wait for some time, but I don't think it will come because we have added. Okay, so we'll see after some time, and then let me show you this other use case also where we want to suppose remove any index for any particular page. So for that, maybe I'll just create any sample, or maybe I'll just create any sample page. Okay, I'll give the name as test, and I can just mention this is my test page. I'll just publish this, preview and publish. Okay, let me see that in this sheet. Okay, you can see that sample page is here, although we have added the no index. Maybe I made some error here. I think let me check in the PPT. I think the tag name is robots. Sorry, I think it's robots, but it is already published now. So what we can do, first rename this. Maybe I can show you the this removing index thing for using this page only. We don't need the test page anyway. Test should be here and anytime. It's already here because we published this. But let me basically, what we need to do, we need to unpublish this. And right now, if you see this unpublished button or delete button doesn't, it's not coming here because first, either you need to delete it or maybe rename it, this page. Once, so that sample page is available. If we just rename it, then this page is no longer available. And now, if I refresh this, we should get a option to not from here. Sorry, this is the document. I need to check the page. Yeah, here we see this, right? Unpublish. And let's remove this as well. Test. So if we go to test now, we should see this unpublished option here as well. And if we check, you can see sample is gone, and in some time the test should also go. Now what we should do, now our page is sample page name is sample1 now. Okay, and I have corrected the meta tag. It should be robots. Let's preview and publish this page and see if this gets indexed or not. Sample one. If our meta tag is working properly, then this should not get indexed now. I can see the test is also gone. From here, and if I go, we can also delete this. Okay. So basically, if you unpublish it, it will not, you will not be able to, basically that page will not be available, but your source document will not be deleted or will be available. You can later preview it and publish it again, and then that page will be available. But if you delete it, your source document itself get deleted. Okay, so let's delete it. We don't need this particular page. Let me see. Anyway, that test source, anyway, we renamed it, right? So that delete action doesn't have any, you can say, uh, effect here, because that page, that test page is anyway is not, test documents anyway is not available. That is renamed as test one. But I can show this this thing also, how this test one can also be deleted later. So let me show whether that sample one is indexed or not. It will not, it is not indexed anyway till this time. It should be here, but any right now our meta tag is working properly. So if you have this robots equals to no index, your page will not get indexed in case of simple configuration where you don't have any custom configuration. With custom configuration, there is some other use cases that we need to check, or you can say to follow. In case if we want to remove or basically skip any page for indexing. So that is all about the indexing part with a simple configuration. But when do we need custom indexing definition? For example, as I mentioned right now, you whatever the header that you add here, right, it will try to find it that particular meta tag in your page markup. But suppose if we want to index or extract any other property that may not be present as a meta tag but may be present on the page, maybe suppose you want to index the first H1 or your page, or maybe some other data that you can extract using CSS selector, okay, from your page. So that in that use cases, without custom index definition, that is not possible out of box. And there's one more use case. Suppose maybe you want to like instead of adding this metadata robots metadata tag on each and every page for like suppose you want to skip few pages from indexing, that you can do at the global level also, like or you can say at the bulk level using that custom index definition. Yeah, you can mention the regex like what pages should be included, what pages should be excluded. Okay, or if you want to just extract basically index only few pages of for any particular section, that is also possible using that custom index definition. Okay, so, and so or suppose you want to like in our for example in our custom header, like last modifieds get extracted out of box, but there can be some other custom response header like we added in the previous tutorial. For example, if I go to this, right, and view inspected, go to network tab and show you this response header. Like we have tutorial, we have yeah, uh, this access control allow origin or tutorial, for example, or any other custom response header that we want to fetch it and then index it based on that. That is also not possible out of box. So for that, we need to create this custom index definition. And how we will do that? Let's see that. Now, let's see how we can write custom index definition. So To do that, basically, we need to create this helix hyphen query.yaml file, and here basically this is the root element, and this is your you can say any name that you want to give. It's basically represent like indexes for one particular section or one particular site. For example, if you want to index a different section on your site in a different way, maybe you need to have one more entry like this default and then provide different properties. Maybe you want to index different properties on that particular section. Or suppose if you have a like separate site, like suppose this is right now like we have just seen the English site. Okay, now suppose you have one more site like the French site or any other language site, and so definitely you don't want to index your content in the same index sheet. Maybe you want to keep it in a separate sheet. So that kind of use cases also can be achieved using this helix query.yaml file, and we'll see that in this video. Okay, so this name can be anything. Then include is like what all pages will be included. For indexing, like when you publish any page based on this regex rule, if whether those pages will be considered for indexing or not. So we are including all the pages except the block pages. Okay, we are excluding block page. So if you, as per this definition, if you basically try to index any page inside the block folder, and if you publish it, it will not get indexed. Okay, target is like where you that query index sheet is, right? If you have any other, if it is in if it is not placed inside the root document, if it is somewhere else, right, you can mention the same. And these are all the properties, like what all properties you want to extract from your page. So this is like the property name, and the same name uh, property will be created inside your uh, JSON's this spreadsheet. This will be the column name uh, of that particular property. So this will be created as a column. Each property which is present here will be created as a separate column in this sheet. Okay, and this select basically is a CSS selector, and this is basically trying to grab the HTML element out of your document. And this is like not all the HTML selector are supported, and EDS basically internally using one library which is mentioned here. I can so this is the document which will have all this information, like what all selector basically you can use and how you can get the value out of your HTML page. I can basically mention this link in the description of the video. Okay, so basically they are using this library HAST util select, and list of supported selector are present here, and unsupported selector also present here. Okay, so here basically what on a high level you can see they are trying to read it from the head inside the head tag. They are trying to find a meta property with the name of OG title, and then fetching the content attribute value of that particular meta tag. For example, if I show you this, let me see the view page source. If you see inside head, this is the title and this meta tag. Okay, and try to find this content attribute value. This is they are grabbing this. So that's how like we have like all the properties like title, image, okay, and description. Last modify, as I mentioned, will be read from the headers. So here we are trying to read it from the last modify header, response header, and then parsing it to a particular format. And this is the theme, our custom metadata attribute that we have added as a custom metadata. Okay, so till now we have it's pretty much the same that we did using the out of box way, without writing this custom index definition, and how basically we can index the custom properties or index differentiation in a different sheet. We will see just in while. Let's first of all, let's see if this is working properly or not. So let's commit this first. Okay, let me update it. Helix. Maybe I need to add it first. Okay, git add. Okay, it is pushed now. Now let me go back to my directory, and this is the sheet where we have created we are collecting the extract property in the previous use case where we just have the sheet. So let me delete all this. Let me delete all this. Okay, and let me remove this also, and then preview, publish. So now, as of now, we don't have any entry in our query hyphen index sheet. Let me see if that workflow is completed or not. Okay, this workflow is completed. So let me try to first maybe the try to access the index page and publish it. Okay, and now I'll try to access about us page and publish it again. And similarly, I'll do it for home page. Okay, 1 second. Maybe let me refresh it. Okay, it's done. Let me see if we have, yeah, as you can see, we have this data. So that home one is maybe coming in a while, but you can see the property that we have added in the custom index definition are here. We have title, image, description, last modified theme. Okay, and let me try to publish any page from the blogs. So maybe this blogs EDS, and see, as per our rule, it should not get indexed. Okay, publish it. Okay, so home has come here. Like we can see the home page that we indexed, but blog, as I mentioned, as per the rule, those pages are excluded, so will not come here. Now let's see how we can suppose how we can add a basically index as a separate section differently. So this is a EDS blog page. Let me do few thing here. So maybe I'll uh, my first EDS blog. This page talk about EDS, etc. And just so I added few more element on this page. I'll tell you why, and I'll make this as H1. Okay, and now suppose there can be like many section also that we can, but just for example I'm keeping it simple. Now instead of out of box, you can only get the data from meta tag if that particular meta tag is available. But suppose in this case, I want to index this particular H1, like I want to extract this data and then index it. It cannot be done without the custom index definition. Similarly, suppose if I show you this, not this, custom response header for this particular, sorry, what I'm doing. Like there's this custom index header like blogs. Suppose I want to fetch this information also and then index it. How we can do that? So let me make some changes in the index definition. For time being, let me refresh it one more time so that we are sure that in blog pages are not getting indexed as per our rule. So I'll make the changes in index definition now. So I've already had the updated file here. Let me copy and paste. Okay. So the upper section is same, like I'm indexing all the pages except anything which are under blogs, and I'm handling this blog pages separately. Like I have created a separate section here in the this config file blog, and I can give you can give any name, and here I'm including all the blog pages, and then what I'm doing instead of indexing in the same file, just to showcase this functionality, I am indexing. Basically, I want my target to be different. I want to index in a separate file, blog pages hyphen index, and top properties are same. It's just at the bottom. I have added two extra property here, like page title. I am basically fetching it from the first H1, and then I'm getting the value of that and then putting it in page title. Similarly, for blog property, I am fetching it from the blog's response header. Okay, so this is the updated file. Let me push it. Okay, it is pushed now. Now for time, let me create this file. Now we have to create this file also, blog pages hyphen index. So I'll go here at the root level. I'll create new sheet, and the first column will be same as path name, whatever name that we have given in the configuration, like blog pages hyphen index, blog pages hyphen index. and the sheet name should be raw underscore index. Okay, our sheet is ready. Let me preview and publish it. Okay, we are now ready. And let me see if that GitHub action is also completed. It's completed now. Okay, now let me publish this blog's EDS page again, and let's see if that data is coming in our blog pages index file or not. It is published, and let's refresh it, and we have to wait for some time. You can see the data has come now, and these are the custom properties that we have added, like page title, which is reading the H1, first H1 on this page, like my first EDS blog, and the blog response header, basically this one. Blogs, EDS blogs. So that's how basically we can fetch the custom properties and add it in the index file. And we also saw how we can create a separate index file. And before I finish, I would like to mention one thing. Like I mentioned, if like in case of normal indexing, if you have like no robots metadata as no index in your metadata block, that then that page will not get indexed. But if you have custom index in definition like we have in our case right now, that will have no effect and your page get indexed anyway. And there's one more scenario. If you have added that robot column here, right? Suppose you've added when you are doing like when you are creating your sheet, and if even if you don't have the custom index definition, but you if you have added the robots property as one of the column, in that case also that will not have any effect and your page get indexed. And in case of index custom index definition, so what you can do basically, because that tag will not have any effect, in what you can do, you can create a new sheet with the name of helix hyphen default, and you can basically write a formula to basically automatically populate all the data from the raw index sheet to helix default sheet, and just and filter it out based on that robot tags. Like if that tag is or that column has no index, then don't copy that particular uh, data or that particular row. So it's not that difficult. You can easily write that. So that is all related to indexing. I hope you like this video. Thanks.